Well, welcome to the Dempsey Startup Competition info session. This is the last one that we have for this year's competition. And here is what I'm going to be talking about today with you. So my name is Yuko Oaku. I'm the Assistant Director at the Buerk Center, and I'm in charge of the Dempsey Startup Competition as well as the R Accelerator program. And today I'm going to go over the competition with you, and I'm going to give you an overview and talk about the eligibility criteria. And the first round of the competition is the screening round. So I'm going to talk in depth about how to prepare for the screening round. And then I'm going to open up for questions after each section. And then at the end, talk about the rest of the rounds, the investment round and beyond. And again, we'll have the question and answers section at the end as well. So overview of the competition. So this year is the 28th year of the competition. As a Dempsey Startup Competition, it was known as the BPC Business Plan Competition until 2018. So it is a new venture competition for students across the region, and it is open to all industries. So whatever you're working on, you are welcome to apply with your idea, and it could even be a nonprofit. Doesn't have to be a business to apply for the competition. So we have awarded over $2.8 million in prize money, and over 6,550 student participants. And then we usually have about 300 entrepreneurs and investors who take part in our competition as judges, advisors, and mentors. So this is a really great networking opportunity for you as students. And you're here, so I don't need to convince you, I think, to apply for the competition, but these are all the benefits you can get from participating. So you can make a great progress on your idea in the just short 8 weeks. You can get feedback from experienced industry professionals and build your network with the 300 plus mentors and judges. And then, of course, you can win the prize money. And we have a $25,000 US dollar grand prize that will be awarded to the top team, and all the other prizes I'll be talking about at the end of this info session. So this is a little testimonial from Sheena Chang, who is a TMBA student. She had so much fun, and it was a very engaging and rewarding opportunity to be involved in the Dempsey competition in 24. And I'm sure you will as well. So talking about the eligibility, it is open to enrolled degree-seeking students in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Alaska, and British Columbia. And teams who have competed in HIC, Health Innovation Challenge, and an Environmental Innovation Challenge, and previous Dempsey Startup Competition are also eligible to apply for the Dempsey Startup. If you won the top 4 prizes in the past, you aren't. I don't think any of you have. You can still keep applying as long as you're still a student. And idea must be appropriate for university-sponsored events. And you could be working with outside entrepreneurs, but you have to be, have a ownership stake or you have to be so substantially involved in a startup to be to apply for the competition. And this is meant to be really a early stage competition. So if you have received over $250,000 of seed funding, competition dollars, or revenue, you are not eligible to apply for the competition. And this is a little more breakdown on different types of involvement with the competition. Team member, again, are currently enrolled students who have a leadership role, ownership stake in the company, and you will be responsible for the business summaries, judge engagement, the investment round, and pitching your startup at the 360 and final round. For Dempsey, you can have non-student team members who could be alums, friends, other individuals who are involved in the day-to-day operation of your startup or an idea. They have a little bit limited capacity in how they engage at the competition. They can still engage with the judges, the investment round, but they cannot pitch at the 316 or final round, but can answer questions after the pitch. You may also have team advisors who are helping you out, who are non-student members who are basically playing an advisory role for you. And they're not allowed to pitch or initiate conversation with judges in all the rounds, but they could attend the reception portion of the investment round if they wanted to. So this is kind of the general timeline of the competition. We have 5 different rounds divided up into 4 different days. We have April 7th, which is the deadline you're working towards to submit your application. The top 36 teams then will move on to the May 1st investment round. And then the next big thing is the May 22nd, which is the Sweet 16, and then the final round, which it will end with the awards dinner on May 22nd, where all the prizes will be announced. And again, we have 25K grand prize, 15K second place prize, and all the other special prizes that I'll share in a bit. And again, application components, you have different requirements for each round. For the first round, you are preparing to prepare a business summary of 5 to 7 pages. Investment round, you're required to submit a 1-page marketing document highlighting your idea for the judges there. And if you do advance to the 316 and a final round, you have to submit a business plan of 12 to 15 pages, and then to prepare also a 15-minute live pitch. So that's kind of it for the eligibility overview. Any questions on these items? You can raise your hand or just start talking, or you can put something in the chat if you have any questions. All right, no question. Or
I have a question real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
So for the screening round, does the business plan have to be 5 to 7 pages, or can it be longer?
It cannot be longer. It has to be 5 to 7 pages. There are multiple examples. I'm going to be talking about this in a little bit that you can look at. You can have a title page and then have it be 8 pages total.
Yes, hi. This is more of a judging rubric question. Do you think like startups with some revenue have substantial advantage and like have like much better chances to win comparing to those that don't have any revenue?
Just, let's say like talking about the screening round, that's part of the criteria is the attraction. So obviously if we have revenue, substantial revenue, for instance, that would be a great, you'll get maybe the very high points on that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you need to have revenue to apply for the competition and do well. In fact, a lot of the companies that have, won top prizes haven't, they're still in the very early stages without any revenue. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a question relevant to the student definition. Is that like the student needs to be currently registered as student by April or by like June or something? Because like some students like graduates like in March, and then they consider students in this year within this years of the competition round.
Exactly. So yeah, so we have a rule within, it's not written there, but if you have graduated after summer 2024, you're still considered a student. So let's say if you have members who are graduating or have graduated in this quarter, you're still considered a student.
Got it. Thank you. I have another question relevant. Is that like all the group needs to be, because I'm thinking about some nonprofit organization, but still working on tech products. Is that eligible for be here for the competition?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm asking because it is relevant to the investment, right? So there will be some negotiation, but I'm not pretty sure like how will that going for this?
Oh, the investment, I'm going to talk about it more in detail later, but it's not like investing it's like a hypothetical investment round. So judges are investing in like your business viability, not so much like whether they will scale, like a venture capital. So it is totally fine to apply with a nonprofit idea. So I'm going to move on to the next section, preparing for the screening round, which I'm sure all of you are already doing. So the screening round is you would have to submit an application with team information and a 5 to 7 page executive summary. About 200 judges will review the initial entries and submit scores based on the judging criteria, which is available online. And then 36 teams will advance to the investment round. And so these are the judging criteria for the screening round. We have 8 different criteria: overall impression, team, marketing opportunity, market opportunity, competitive strategy, go-to-market strategy, traction, financials, and social impact. And sort of the guiding questions that are shared with the judges are also already written on your submission checklist. So you don't necessarily have to answer every question in your application, but you do want to make sure that these 8 points are covered in your application. So some tips and tricks for the screening round. So this is basic, but don't delay. Have everything ready and submit on time, because any late application will not be accepted. And have a clear problem and solution statement. So I think what I see sometimes with students is that you get so caught up into answering the 8 different judging criteria that it gets a little bit difficult to know what your problem is and what your solution is. So you want to make sure that number 3, that you get a lot of feedback on your application and make sure that everything comes across very clearly and understandable, easily understandable by the judges that are looking at the application. The judges are going to be getting between 5 to 7 applications per person, and there'll be, if you're a tech professional, we try to match the industry of your application with the expertise of the judges. So let's say if you have a tech product, you'll be matched with a tech professionals in different with a different skill set. So you want to make sure that your application stands out from the 5 or 6 that there are other applications that they are looking at. So how to apply? If you haven't already, I recommend that you create an account on Unoodle right away. This is the platform that we use to submit your application. And the reason why I really emphasize on filling out the company and team information early is that because now you can do it already. And to gather team members' information, team lead would have to invite other members to complete their profiles for their application. So it is very, very critical for team leads to start their application and then send their teammates their profiles for completion. Because without this being done, you won't be able to submit your application on time. So please do this as early as possible. And yeah, last step is to submit. So you can do the profiles page before anything else, have your teammates do the profiles as well, and then just submit, upload your 5 to 7 pager by the deadline of before midnight on April 7th, which is a Monday. And a few tips on how to prepare your application. So you can please review the submission checklist and judging criteria, making sure you're covering these questions. And there is an administrative checklist at the end of this document that you can look at. There are also past entries that are available online under submission resources. There are 11 different past applications that have been successful. They have all advanced to the investment round, which means that they're all top 36 of that year. And the ones that are more recent, the last maybe 5 years, are at the end of the list. So these would be a kind of good examples to look at for recent examples. And yeah, do your research, use the library resources. And, obviously, ChatGPT is a resource you can use, and I'm sure a lot of people are using this already, but you do want to make sure that you are using it responsibly, and also you are double checking any market, scientific, and other data. And then, it could be a great analysis tool, and I use it for research all the time as well, but it cannot replace your creativity and enthusiasm. So you want to make sure that, you're citing correctly and everything. And details of these guidelines are on the Dempsey Startup website if you want to read more. And yeah, we do have more resources on our website as well, under Startup Resources website, if you want to check for resources in different categories such as funding and business plans and so on. We have other ways, if you're looking for a team to join, or, do you have, any of you, are you looking for team members? Raise your hand, maybe some of you. Okay. Great. Yeah, so you can use Startup Tree. There's a team formation page. You can go by clicking this link where you can find people who are looking for teams. One thing I would say is that this is a platform that you need to sort of interact with. You would have to be active about messaging them. They won't just magically come find you. It's like, a dating app. So, and then I would also recommend that if you find someone you want to talk to maybe message them on LinkedIn or some other platform, because that platform itself doesn't give you a notification when you receive a message. So I'll just say, be proactive about contacting folks if you want to connect. All right, so that's kind of it for the screening round. Any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, for the screening round, is that interview process, will it be the team talking over Zoom with like a presentation we're using to guide the conversation, or is it how exactly does the conversation flow happen within that round?
For the screening round? So the screening round is it's completely online. There is no Zoom component. You'll just be submitting 5 to 7 page business summary, and they are sent to the judges, and they will be basically rating your application between 1 and 5, and then leaving you feedback. So that's what you will get at the end of the screening round, and the top 36 teams that have the highest points will move on to the investment round. So there is nothing, I guess, during the screening round, let's say, I think it's between April 10th and the 15th. There's nothing that you as a team is doing. You're just waiting to get the results back.
Okay, all application, no kind of face-to-face.
No face-to-face. The face-to-face kind of phase will start from the investment round.
Yeah, I have a tiny detail to check. Is that the 7 pages, the slides as a slide page, or is that the Google Doc as a Google Doc page?
So the application is it's a business plan, so it's usually a document. It's not a pitch deck.
Got it.
And you do want to look at the past summaries to see kind of what we expect. You could use a Canva or resources like that to make it look appealing, but it's a document usually.
Got it. I have another question relevant. Yeah. Who are the judges?
So judges have a slide on that. It's a variety of folks, professionals from the Seattle's entrepreneurial community. So they can be entrepreneurs, different professionals from different companies. We have a lot of legal professionals, and just a variety of different folks who have signed up to judge, and we vet them. So they are all kind of vetted by me or some other Buerk Center staff, and a lot of them are alumni. So I would say maybe a third of the 300 judges we have for the investment round are either UW or Buerk Center alumni.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Shaksi?
Yeah, hi. My question is, do we have a cap at the number of team members?
Yes, great question. So yes, we cap the team at 8 people. So if you have more than 8 people, you do want to be selective on who you would list for this competition. The typical size of the team, I would say, is 3 to 5.
Got it. And do we have a minimum number of team members as well?
We don't have a minimal number. You can apply as a solo founder, like one person, but bear in mind, if you advance the investment now, which I'll talk about in a minute, having just being one person doing the booth for 4 hours is a very, very tiring and difficult task. So we usually recommend, if you're one person doing this, to kind of recruit more people to your team.
I wanted to clarify for the team section in the application. Are we only inviting student team members in that portion?
You have the ability to include non-student team members there. So if you have non-student team members who are working on your idea, please list them there, especially if we want them involved in the investment round. There are ways to kind of list them. Let's say, like, when you have to select school, you just select like non-applicable, so we know that they're not a student.
Okay. Sounds good. And then I was also wondering, I guess you kind of went over this when it comes to what the Dempsey business summary is like, but is there anything for those that applied to HIC and EIC of like main differences just to be aware of?
So yeah, I wouldn't go too far into it because they are, different. But the business, the Dempsey startup is more about business, right? So there is more focused on how you're going to make this work as a business. It doesn't have to be like a crazy scalable business, if you're a nonprofit, but you do want to show how you're going to operate as a business or a nonprofit, and financials and stuff like that. We don't obviously expect you to have you only have 5 to 7 pages in the business plan, business summary in the beginning for the screening round. So we don't expect you to have 1 page full of financials and stuff like that, but you do want to make sure that you show that this is a it could be a valid operating business.
Okay, that makes sense. I was also wondering, you kind of mentioned that some business summaries kind of lacked a clear problem and solution, which made teams not move forward. But is there anything else that in the past that made teams either not get selected or things that did help people get selected?
That's a very difficult question because that probably just depends on on like case by case basis. But as I said, the parameters of the screening round is that everybody gets the judges will get 5 to 7 applications, and they do rate the application between 1 to 5 under each of the criteria. And the top criteria is the overall summary, which means that what does it make sense, right? Like is it clear to them what the problem and solutions are? So I think just keep that in mind, I think. And I think there are many ways to make your application appealing and easy to understand. If you kind of think about if your application is just like a black and white document of just text, versus if you have a prototype in mind or how your app is going to look like, for instance, having some sort of demo or how it could look like visually, demonstrating that would be a lot, it will be a stronger application for judges to understand what you're trying to do.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Liam, do you have more questions? Or I think, okay, never mind. So, and I'm looking at the chat as well. So yes, to clarify, was it before or after? So you have to graduate after summer 2024 to be considered a student. All right, so I'm going to move on to the section talking about the investment round and beyond. So the next round, if you're selected to be the top 36, is to present at the investment round, which is a trade show style event. It's a very fun day, a lot of judges. Usually we have over 300 judges that come attend, and to select a portfolio of company to invest their dollars. So we give each judge 1,000 Buerk bucks, kind of a hypothetical dollars to invest in, and then we ask the judges to invest in at least 5 different companies of different variety of industry. So we don't want one judge to come in, let's say if you're a tech professional, to just look at the tech companies, invest in tech companies. We just ask them to look at variety of industries to make a wide variety of investments for this round, so everybody has a fair chance. And this is it's pretty simple. So at the end of the day, we tally all the dollar amounts, and then we the top 16 teams with the highest amount of investments will move on to the next round, which is the Sweet 16 and the final round. And if you are UW students, you have the option of earning 2 elective credits by advancing to the investment round. And this year, this round is going to be at the Seattle Convention Center. So judging criteria for the investment round is more, how would I say, it's not as prescriptive as like the screening round. They're not judging, they're not putting points on like, okay, does this business seem well thought out, 1 to 5? It's more like, we give them these guiding questions and then ask them to make an investment at the end. So, they'll be looking at things like by the interaction, that you'll be having with the judges at the booth. You have to show whether there's a real opportunity there, and if you know what you're talking about, right? Do you have the knowledge of the industry and the potential customers? Yeah, and then we'll, at the end of the day, there'll be a reception. Your advisors are welcome to that. And then we announce the top 16 teams that are moving on to the next round. So before we do the last round, which is the Sweet 16 and the final round, we do a practice round called the virtual coaching round. This is a non-elimination round. That means that it's mandatory, but you don't get eliminated. You just prepare a 15-minute pitch where you practice the one that you are preparing for the Sweet 16 and get feedback from the 5 to 7 coaches that'll be on your Zoom room. So this is virtual, and so you don't have to come into Seattle if you're out of the area to participate. And round 4, so the last day is the May 22nd, and this is the Sweet 16 round. So for the Sweet 16 teams, you are required to submit a full 12 to 15 page business plan and deliver a 15-minute pitch. And every team, so all 16 teams will be divided up into 4 different rooms. So there'll be 4 teams presenting in each room, and each room has a panel of 7 judges, again, of a variety of industry. And they select which team moves on to the final round from that room. So in the middle of the day, during lunchtime, I'll be announcing the final 4 teams that will be participating in the final round. And the final round is actually open to the public. It'll be a peak forum. And you'll be judging the final 4 teams will be repeating their pitch, basically, that they prepare for the morning to 7 judges who are all accomplished entrepreneurs in our ecosystem. And it's a long day. So this May 22nd ends with an awards ceremony at Bell Harbor. And this is where we award the top 4 prizes, of course, and the 10 best idea and big picture prizes that we'll be awarding. So for the prizes, we have, again, grand prize all the way down to the 4th prize, $25K to $7,500 prizes. We also have big picture and best idea prizes that are kind of a category, thematic prizes that we give to different teams. We have social impact, Internet of Things, consumer products, marketplace. You can look at our website for the kind of prizes that we have available. They have not been updated for this year, but the the categories of prizes will remain the same. And one caveat is that the big picture and best idea prizes are selected from the top 36 teams in the investment round. So even if you don't advance the Sweet 16 round after the investment round, it is possible that you are winning one of the prizes, and we don't tell you whether you won the award or not before the dinner. So you want to make sure that you show up to the dinners to receive these prizes. And then another thing is that no one team can win more than one big picture or best idea prize. So 10 different teams will be getting these 10 different awards. It is possible though that you win one of these thematic prizes and the grand prize, for instance. So yeah, those are the awards. Again, judges are a variety of folks from the Seattle's entrepreneurial community. And yeah, you'll have fun networking with them at various rounds. Yeah, we're coming towards the end of the presentation. We have had lots of successes with the companies that have participated in Dempsey Startup in the past. Lots of teams have been selected, Forbes 30 under 30, or gone into different kind of Y Combinator or other accelerator programs, and have really made an impact in the entrepreneurial scene here in Seattle. And yeah, and we have, I'm sure a lot of you have already subscribed, but we have a newsletter that we share weekly about entrepreneurial opportunity on and off campus. So if you haven't signed up, I recommend that you do so. I'll be sharing this slide with you after this info session as well, so if you have it. Any questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question. You mentioned being able to look at previous applications. Would it be best to email you about that if I can't attend the April 2nd, or would it be best to go on the website and book a meeting with you?
So the meeting, booking a meeting with me, that's all virtual meetings. So yeah, please email me
Okay,
if you
sounds
can't make
good.
the April 1st.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, all right. Well, thanks for joining us.